What up, YouTube? It's your boy Detroit Love with another video. Today we're going to take a look at the new series on how to build your own modified Arcade1Up cabinet. This is just the introductions to a series that will show you step by step how to do every single step of transforming your plain Jane arcade into a awesome modified version. So we're going to take this journey to transform the stock Championship Street Fighter 2 Edition Arcade1Up game cabinet into a modified Street Fighter cabinet. Now we're going to do this in part series. I tend to make very long videos, and so I'm working on making those shorter. And so we'll do this in parts. So this is just the introduction. We're going to look at each key component of this build and talk in detail about those particular parts. And so when we look at this cab, it's a screen, and the screen doesn't change or doesn't have to change in the modification. Now there's some people who have modified and taken that out and they put 19-inch or 20-inch or whatever they can fit in there, but that's not necessary. The stock monitor is sufficient. So the beauty of having this hobby grade cabinet is that the sky's the limit. Whatever you want to do to it, you can do. There's a lot of things that you can do. There's a lot of computers that you can use, whether it's a Windows PC or a Raspberry Pi or a Pandora's box, a JAMA board. There's a lot of options for getting the system to run games. But in this series, we're simply talking about the Raspberry Pi. And so the key components of this modification is we're going to swap out these controls. That's the joysticks and the buttons. Everything but the stock on and off switch and the volume. Everything else is going to come out. Inside, let's just take a look there. So step one is pretty simple. You remove the two screws to take the back panel off. You take this power cord, feed that back through the hole from the control panel, and the back is open and ready for you to rock and roll. So this is the inside of the cabinet. The whole computer is inside this metal box, held on by two screws, one on each side. This ribbon cable goes to your controllers and buttons, and that sends the signal. The essential things you need to know at this point in time is the model number. There's your model number on the back of your monitor. That is significant because it'll tell you which controller, video controller board you need to be successful with your modification. Know which one to order, and most of them have this number. So if you have this number, you can take pretty much anyone's advice on which card to use and you'll be all set. If you have something different, then you get a little more complicated. Okay, the rest of this cabinet is empty. Nothing in there. There's nothing but an empty cabinet to allow, just zoom out. See there, just an empty cabinet that allows you to, the height of the cabinet to be sufficient for you to sit down and play or stand up with a riser. So that's it. So our objective is to replace that computer board there with a Raspberry Pi and with a video cable that allow the monitor to be used with that Raspberry Pi. The final piece of the project is this control panel. It's held in by 4 screws. If you haven't ordered your protector and replacement graphics, you want to go to arcade1up.com immediately and sign up to receive those replacements. As you start your modification, whenever you remove screws, I recommend you getting a container or a piece of paper somewhere where you can safely put these and identify where you took the screws from, because there's only going to be a few places that you have screws. You'll have screws from the control panel, you have screws from the back panel, you have screws from taking off the PCB or the little computer on the back of the monitor, you have screws that you remove from the bottom of the control panel. So you want to keep track of where those go. Screws for the joysticks, because those locations are essential. If you use the wrong screw when putting the new screw joystick together onto the control panel, you can come through the surface at the top. So keep track of where you're taking the screws out, and always sit up in that area until they're back in their proper location. You remove the 4 screws here from the control panel, keeping track of them. Here's our 4 top panel screws. Here's our 2 rear panel screws. We're going to keep our 8 joystick screws. All the other screws can just go in one big pile. So once those 4 screws are removed, see, you'll have these screws from this vinyl cabinet, this protection cover. See, it's ventilated so that the sound can come through and so that the air can come through. Some people choose not to cover this back up. It depends on how well you can, in doing your modification, that you can put the wires for the new buttons and the new joysticks. Most people are going to put the 2 coin buttons here on this vinyl panel. Putting them there dictates that you're not going to be able to keep this vinyl cover on. On some cases I've put them back in, and some cases I haven't. I've reused this inside as a tray on my Galaga box as a coin box, so that when my coins go in there, they're contained in here. In my Street Fighter, I just use it as a tray for all the extra parts and things that I have, just so they're not sliding around as I shift the box around. So thanks for watching the introduction to this how to build a modified cabinet. So what's next? We're going to get to the demolition portion, because Arcade1Up does not provide a cabinet and monitor only solution. We have to take out all the things that are not needed for the modified version. And so that's what's coming up next, step by step in this series on how to do every single piece of this. You will not be left guessing what to do. No steps will be eliminated or skipped. This is for people who are considering doing this and have no idea what to do. You can feel confident to transform your own. So that's going to do it for this series, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Leave your comments below. And until next time, I'll see you on the web.